Yo, what is up guys, Digirex here, and today I'm coming at you with another video. And today, this is going to be kind of a different video. It's a little bit weird actually. I've come up with a sword build for Titans, and I can do this with a Warlock or a Hunter too. I just thought this would probably work the best on Titans, just because of Titan exotics, Titan abilities, and stuff like that. So now, with Rise of Iron, this artifact was added to the game. It's called Memory of Radagast, and you gain the ability to reflect energy-based projectiles when guarding with a sword, and you get increased sword ammo capacity. So this kind of inspired me to make a sword build, honestly, because this is just so cool. This ability is so cool, plus you get more sword ammo. It just inspired me to make a build for swords. So now, here's a sword that I've been using for the build. And honestly, this is more of a PvE build than a PvP build, because honestly, how often do you use swords in PvP? And how often do you actually play effectively with swords in PvP? So this is more of a PvE type of thing. So down here, of course, I have Memory of Radagast, and you guys will see gameplay of this once I show you gameplay using this build. And you can use anything. I would either say Dark Drinker or Raise Lighter. Either of those are good. I think those are the best swords. You could use Arc Edge, but that would really take away the purpose of having the Memory of Radagast, because you can just use your long range ability with the Arc Edge. This, you have large damage onto bigger adds, you have large damage onto smaller bosses, and with this you can deflect projectiles to do a bunch of damage at longer ranges. So now, to add to this build, I got Rune Wings just so I can get more heavy drops and contain more ammo, just so I can always have sword ammo. Combined with the increased sword ammo capacity, this is going to be killer. You could also run with take this off and run with Twilight Garrison. Have a little bit extra mobility with your sword, so you can slash in midair, and then you can Twilight Garrison. But I went with this for the extra ammo, in conjunction with this extra sword ammo, to see how much sword ammo I could have, and see if I could run like full strikes with full sword ammo the whole time. So now I chose Striker for this build, but it doesn't really matter too much. The reason I chose Striker though is because, well, and another reason I chose Titan is because you can skate with Titans, and this will help you get to your enemies faster with the sword, run around faster with the sword, and just be absolutely insane with the sword. And you also have Fist of Havoc, which is a good lead-off to kill groups of adds, especially with the sword, close range. And then you have Juggernaut, so if a group of adds is shooting at you, you can just skate towards them, charge them, and then swipe at them with your sword and kill them all. So mostly Juggernaut and the skating I chose this for. You could also even use the Flashbang Grenade and totally blind all the enemies, and then get close to them and slaughter them all with your sword. So yeah, this is what I chose: Flashbang, and then you got your increased control, and then you got your Juggernaut. These all go well with the sword, and then you got your Rune Wings, which gives you extra ammo. You got of course, your Memory of Radagast, and then your sword of your choice, preferably Dark Drinker or Raise Lighter. So let's get right in the gameplay with this sword build, guys. Alright guys, so in the background you are seeing gameplay of me using this super fun build, and honestly, I don't know how much the Radagast artifact helps for this build. It does help a little bit. I use it a little bit throughout this gameplay, but honestly, Juggernaut, Fist of Havoc, and the suppression nades, or the flashbangs, they probably help the most out of this build, because honestly, the suppression nades are really good for huge groups, because once they're suppressed, you can just mow them, like, you can just slash through them with your sword. And I think Titan is definitely the best class for this, just because you have skating and you can move around the map so fast. It's just insane how fast you can get to enemies and to kill them. And Juggernaut doesn't help too much in PvE, but it does help some when you're just charging a group head on, or Fist of Havoc helps when you are taking down large groups of enemies. And Raise Lighter is pretty good for this, because as you saw there, I could take out like captains and bigger enemies like that, as well as groups of enemies. Now Dark Drinker, you would be able to take out large groups of enemies, but that's kind of why I implemented Fist of Havoc into this. And you won't use this build for like the raid, so Dark Drinker really wouldn't matter that much. But honestly, I think Razelighter is the way to go with this build. Dark Drinker you can use, but honestly you want to use your Fist of Havoc to finish all the enemies in one fell swoop, and then you use Razelighter's special ability to kill them, to kill like higher level mobs. You can't really deflect too well. I mean, honestly, you can deflect, it just doesn't do too much damage unless you get something good to deflect. Like at the end of this strike, I tried to deflect Fogoth's beam, and it did work, and it did do quite a good amount of damage, except that my ammo just ran out so quickly from just protecting or like guarding. My ammo just ran out so quickly, it was a little bit insane that it wasn't even worth deflecting it because it just drained all my ammo, and I couldn't deflect or attack after that. So that was pretty annoying. Although I did have fun running this build. I don't know how much Ruin Wings help either, honestly, because I do notice a little bit more drops than normal, but honestly, not that many more heavy ammo drops than I feel like I would normally get than if I was just like not using them at all. I guess there are a few more heavy ammo drops than normal, but not too many to where it really makes a difference. You could use Twilight Garrison for that increased mobility too, and I found that after I played a little bit with this build, went through a few strikes, went through a few missions with this build, and honestly, Twilight Garrison might be pretty good just to increase your movement, because the movement on Titan is great, and with a sword in Twilight Garrison, you can make it excellent. So I'd probably recommend Twilight Garrison over Ruin Wings now that I've played with it a little bit. But this build is super fun, and I totally recommend this for you guys. It totally wrecks ads. You can run through strikes pretty dang quick with this, and I'm actually really liking it. So the only thing you have to watch out for is ammo, which I would go for like max sword ammo capacity, which even though if the memory of Radagast doesn't help too much with deflecting, it still gives you increased sword ammo capacity, so you can still use that to your advantage with the sword. And Ruin Wings doesn't help. Well, it does help a little bit, but honestly, you could probably make it through a strike without it. I pretty much ran this whole strike just with heavy, and it was a ton of fun using this build with it. And yeah, you're just super fast as a Titan. You have Juggernaut, and with a sword, and if you run Twilight Garrison, you are super quick, agile, you speed around the map, you just do like little hit and runs, and it is just super fun to use. I'm loving it. And honestly, you take out larger ads really quickly, and you take out larger ads pretty quickly. You can take out a bunch of smaller ad groups, and it doesn't take as much ammo, and swords get a lot of more ammo compared to other heavy weapons, so I'd say this build is pretty effective overall. Alright guys, that's going to be my video on the sword build. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Rise of Iron, Infinite Warfare content, and Overwatch content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you like big titties. I almost forgot the big titties. The big jitties. But yeah, Infinite Warfare, Destiny Rise of Iron, and Overwatch. Hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, and Modern Warfare Remastered. Can't forget about that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Digirex. Peace.